Yo guys, what's up? You already know I'm here. Anime review. Let's go. Welcome to N.H.K. I just recently came upon this show. Tons of people were saying, yeah, it's a really good show. Don't expect a lot of action. It's just really like psychological, like kind of messes with your head, kind of like Death Note would, So I expected, kind of a little, like some type of mad genius type of character, but not really. It's a guy, he's kind of like a social outcast, if you want to say, a guy who, is kind of to himself, a guy he's just hanging by himself pretty much. He's in solitude, and we're going to call him Neat. But no, everyone in the show calls him Hikikomori, which really means, a guy who just isn't social. He hates the public, he hates being around groups of people. He's just a loner by himself. He wants to just, do his little anime things, a little otaku life, I guess, and, just live life like that. And, it really struck me because he's kind of around my age too. He's 22 years old, and, he dropped out of college. We get to find out all about him in this show. He dropped out of college. He just really contemplates about his life, what he's doing, where he's going. His parents used to give him rent money. Throughout the series, his parents are like, hey, we're running out of money since your father got laid off. Our funds aren't up to par now. But let me tell you about this show, really. Guy, social outcast, Hikikomori. He is hanging by himself, and one day he gets a knock on the door low. And hey, it's a girl and an old lady, and they're like, hey, we're this kind of like Jehovah's Witness type of thing. And the little girl, she's not a little girl, but she's like 17, 18. She takes an interest in him. He's like, hey, I noticed that, you are kind of by yourself, you kind of look like you need help, okay? And she helps him. She's like, hey, sign this contract. We'll meet up here at this park, late at night, and I can teach you, how to be a social person, how to go back into society, be a normal person, live your life, like, to your maximum potential, pretty much. And he thought about it at first. He's like, I'm not going to do it. And later on, he has a roommate. Well, not a roommate, but a person he lives next to in his little apartment. And yes, they find out that these two guys are actually best friends. They knew each other for a long time. And, it's kind of weird how, you never got to see your neighbor until then. But, it's part of the show. And then, they get to talking. It's like, hey, let's make this game. We're trying to program a game, make an actual like game, do all this programming and stuff. And the Hikikomori, he was an English major. He really does a lot of writing in English, so it was a good duo. The guy, his friend, does a lot of programming. Hikikomori does the writing, so it was a good little teamwork there. And he just tries to make this game, and just to prove to the girl that he's not lonely, that he's a successful person. But at first he ends up failing, and throughout the series, he goes on all these trials and tribulations. His mind thinks he's playing tricks on him, how people think he's really laughing at him and stuff. All these people, think he's doing all this crazy stuff. And, his mind's just really just playing tricks on him throughout the whole series. Like, hey, no one loves you, no one likes you. And, it's really hard because it's like a mentality you have to get over it. For some people, it might be easy, but for him, you have to see that he's struggling. He's asking for help, really. And later on, he signs his contract. Him and the girl, they go through all this meetings and having, good talks about life and everything, and how you need to just change your mindset and you can be anything you want. And, later on in the series, he also meets another character. He used to go to school with her. She was actually doing well. The character that she met at school, called her Senpai, though. And, they have a good relationship, I'd like to say. I don't want to spoil it for you, but she's a very attractive woman, and how she's actually has a mentality too, where life is just a conspiracy. Just learn about things about life, how people live, how different people see things in life. It's a really good psychological show. It kind of, I couldn't get interested in the first like 3 or 4 episodes, but after that, like the 5th, 6th episode, it got juicier, and I got hooked, man. I got hooked to it. So I recommend you all watching it. Really pretty psychological show. You'll be interested. Don't expect a lot of action. There's really no like punching, kicking, none of that. A couple life-saving things, but other than that, it's really kind of like a movie too. But I'm not going to spoil anything else, guys. Go ahead and watch it. Welcome to N.H.K. and peace!